know where the walkings go. They go on to take your need. Break down our sleep, build up breakfast, tell us it's my love, love, love. She bruises calls, she splutters pistol shots. Hold her down with soggy clothes and breeze blows. She's morphine, queen of my vaccine, my love, my love. Please don't go, please don't go. I love you so, I love you so. Please break my heart. Oh, please don't go. I need you all. I love you so, I love you so, I love you so. Please don't go. I need you more. I love you so. Please don't go. I need you more. I love you so.
Cheers to you, retail trading team. This is Mastro coming to you live from the Puppet Show Central with your routine briefing on this very interesting Friday so far. So I was going to spend a good part of today's briefing talking about, it's casual Friday by the way, talking about the new little system I have in place. Since we got a good amount going on, I think I'm going to go ahead and move that to Monday, and I will have a little more data then anyway. So we're going to do that on Monday because we want to jump right into the nice little tape action today, and I think it's potentially going to be interesting here. I'm watching volatility really closely. So the main thing that I've noticed so far today that I found pretty darn interesting. After getting stopped out, by the way, so I'm short now. I did start out long on the day, and I got, how you say, whacked as we returned back to this 41.34 area. Amazing. So yeah, I'm short here just based on that break of trend. This is a big trend line. I draw these on the 4-hour chart. And you're seeing a lot more levels here, which is what I'm going to talk about more on Monday. It's just a supplement to my Fabio system. I've been working on it a little bit. And this is kind of more for scalping. So you can see I'm just trying to get, how many points here we got? I'm trying to get just to that 2475 number. I'm actually going to aim a little lower here if we do not bounce again on this 34 area. It's really unbelievable. I don't quite remember anything quite like this, with this same level being a magnet for literally 2 months now almost. We'll say 6-7 weeks. So watch what happens at 34 here. But yeah, anyways, I digress. I'll talk more about that past system on Monday because I want to get right into the briefing itself today, which I'm going to do by changing screens here. So first thing that we want to look at is that open test drive. That level is going to be 41.58. So we did have that net long overnight inventory that's obviously already been unwound. So that is what we're looking at there, that 41.58. In my opinion, bears are in control until we breach 41.58. So pretty simple. What I was talking about the volatility is it's still red on the day. It just kind of popped green real quick. So UVXY filled that gap. But we really are not seeing that big push in volatility that one would expect to see if indeed we are breaking down. When you look at the other internals as well, there's not really anything here that's telling me that we're going to go into bear trend here. So we'll see what happens. We're literally bouncing off that 34 area again as we speak. Really, no words. Never seen such a tested level. Just keep working. What can you do? So besides that, as I look at the internals here, I think that you're seeing a little bit more strength in the defensive stocks versus those kind of risk-on stocks. So if you look at just for example, XLK, it's down about 0.4%, crashing to new lows at 0.4% red on the day. You're seeing the ARK and Bitcoin taking a breather as well while we kind of rotate into XLP, XLU, those more defensive sectors. So it is looking like it's going to be a slightly bearish day so far. Again, watching those internals for anything else really to stick out, but right now I'm just not seeing that, especially with volatility /VX still red. So that's what I'm looking at in the warm up there. Besides that, our expected move zones are very similar to yesterday. We are just about 7 points difference in the opens from yesterday and today. So you got kind of 60 on the upside for SPX. And then downside here, we'll watch what happens around 41.17-ish, which we're getting pretty close to right now. So we've had a bunch of days outside the expected move in May. Haven't had one for, or we haven't had that many over the past several sessions. So we'll see what happens today. If indeed they do buy up 34 again, or if we see a little bit of continuation, that the kind of major line in the sand zones. So I bolded Fabio zones. And then the other zones are just for that pass system that we'll talk about more on Monday. So that main Fabio zone I'm looking is 21 to 24. Below 21 to 24, I think we could see a little more strength from the bear side. So that's what got going on here. I've been looking at the TPO. We're really kind of showing a double distribution for now. So I'm going to go ahead and mark that. That can definitely change as the day progresses. And if we do buy 34 again, it will change pretty quickly. So that's what I got going on for the warm-up side of things. So if we go back to the chart itself, look at some price action stuff. Really macro, it's kind of same thing as yesterday. Nothing going on, just ugly, ugly candles. You do kind of have that potential, I believe that's called a tweezer top there. So we'll watch and see. That high is going to also correspond to that 58-ish level, maybe a little higher, and definitely that overnight high as the day progresses here. So really for me, though, I'm watching those gaps below that 416 level and right below that 408 level just remain the most important, I think, markers for the next trend move. Right now, it's just junk, and it's been junk since March 31st. So we got to really wait for things to open up and for the lovely bulls to stop buying 41.34 if you want to see a move to that downside, and then for the bears to run out of energy, shorting the bulls who buy for 41.34 every time to the upside. So not too much to talk about in the macro chart, and just going to volatility real quick. Again, to me, not really much is going on here. So I'm going to go ahead and attach this chart. It's trying to have some type of bid, but really I have no lines that I'm going to draw. I'm not drawing any pretty lines just to try to make a case until we get below 1960 or above 24. Volatility is just in chop mode, like the market. So I'm not really looking at this chart too much at all. I'm looking more at those internals I talked about in the beginning there, and that I talked about yesterday as well. And I'm going to do a LinkedIn post. So if you go to my Twitter and you just look for, actually, you know what? I'll make it easy for the two of you who actually watch this. If you do want to check this out, I'm going to put it in the chat here. Buy, please. Pull that up.
Trending days are one of the most liquid, scalable, and asymmetric risk-reward opportunities.
Put it right in the chat here. So I'm Alexa. I'm gonna do a LinkedIn post on this, just so I don't have to keep finding and posting this YouTube video. There we go. So that's kind of what I'm talking about in those internals. Like I said, volatility really is meaningless to me right now. Hey, welcome to the chat, Mr. OJ. I got stopped out on longs and flipped short. And what are we doing? As I texted you, is we bought 34 once again. How does that make you feel, Mr. OJ? The strength of that one single number for a course of 6 weeks. Does that make you excited to to buy the dip at the same level every time? Okay, so we actually are getting a little bit of green in volatility now. So watching that, just going back to the internals real quick, we're still seeing that weakness. So hey, maybe we might actually go check out that 20 area opposed to just kind of hanging out around here as the day goes on. Anyways, yeah, I want to bloviate, which seems to be one of my favorite vocab words for these briefings. On the volatility point, it's just kind of useless. It's kind of same with the TPO, so that's why I talked about that double distribution look so far. The pivot for that is going to be, and it's going to be the pivot today in general for me, is going to be this 41-45 area. If we're below it, I think bears are in control, and really below that 41.58 because of the open test drive. So really 45 to let's say 60 is just a really significant, I think, supply zone intraday here. But besides that, watching that double distribution, if the bulls do bounce us here and go clean that up, then we will have to reevaluate our TPO. Otherwise, again, nothing useful on the TPO chart, in my opinion, until we either take out that poor high above, and even then we have a bunch of supply all the way back up, or we start to go into this demand zone here. Definitely looking to buy the dip first, as has been the trend, we'll say, so far. Yet if we start to move through that, I think especially if we get below 4060, we really quickly move into this area of poor structure here. So I think, I think if we get to 4090, that's going to be kind of the spot I looked for, that little bit of a bounce. Yet if we don't bounce there pretty quickly, if we start to build really any time in volume below that 4100 area again, I think it's going to be a quick move to 4060, and then below 4060 there are some potential areas of support, but I think this time they'll want to go at least retest that 4000 area. So I'm hoping Mr. Juiceball here is correct and we do crash through the area of interest. So we'll have to find out and watch and see, wait what happens. So that's what I got going on TPO chart. Again, we're just kind of stuck in the middle here. As long as we're anywhere near the stupid 34 area, it's either scalps or I think options trades win the day. So for me, I'm just trying to scalp here. I shouldn't say just, but I'm getting ready for maybe another 20 points here. I'd like to see that 18 level test is kind of where I'll look to perhaps close the position, but I will give it some space, just like I gave that long some space today, just because of the size of the chop range that we're in. We are in complete control. The algos are in complete control of this tape, and we have to respect that, I think. So outside of price action, just a couple other things macro-wise. What I think is super interesting that's going on with this 0DT volume. So the market really did change when 0DT became kind of the prominent volume during these, say, day trading volume, but it's not really even day trading volume because there's a lot of institutions involved as well. I have tinkered with cumulative volume delta. I find it to be rather, me personally, Mr. Juiceball, useless, but I am biased because the Order Flow Labs guys, that's the one indicator they hate the most. So interesting. All right, well, you know what, Mr. Juiceball, I've learned not to dismiss anything you say, so maybe we'll have to give it another look. But yeah, I digress. Again, going back to that tier 1 alpha data that we talked about, they shared an interesting tweet yesterday, which I'm also going to put in the chat here for OJ, since you're the only one to watch this, if you're interested. What it's showing is that the 0DT relative volume has been greater than 50%. And what's also interesting about this is there's no activity in the calls farther out in the calendar. So this is kind of one of the major bearish things I'm looking at. And then second, on the bearish side is if you look at the raw claims on unemployment numbers. Again, I don't trade based on data, but I think it's good to keep that big picture, viewpoint in mind. And although the raw claims are low, in the last 4 months, there's been a 30% increase in that unemployment. So just something else to watch as time goes on here. So yeah, so besides that warm-up document, I will keep, let me go back and show it here. I will keep updated as the day goes on with levels. You'll see more levels, and I'll keep that TPO updated. If and when we do inevitably squeeze again from this 34 area, I'll make sure that that's updated for everyone there. So that is all I have for you for today's routine briefing. If you thought it was useful, OJ, please give it a like. That helps with the YouTube algorithm, and one of these days I might even get back above 10 views. So we'll see what happens there. I'll be on the Twitters for anyone who wants to engage throughout the day. Like I said, that's kind of where I'll be talking about any significant changes, as well as that warm-up document I discussed a few seconds ago there. So newsletter is going to come out right after this, and I will say cheers to you and stay classy until Monday. See you then.